welcome to the UBA playoffs. I am Gordon Pepper. We are, first of all, watching, with 5 minutes left to go in practice, the first round of the Northeast playoffs. When we started this at the end of June, there's 108 teams that qualify for the playoffs. After the first weekend, or the last weekend at the end of June, there's now 62. By the time this weekend is over, we will have 16. That is how vicious and quick these playoffs are. The ruling is very simple. You win, you advance, you lose, you're gone. And for one of these teams, 10 months of work and practice and hard labor will wind up with absolutely nothing, except paying $450 for the right to get booted in the first round. Welcome to the UBA playoffs. As I said before, I am Gordon Pepper. This is going to be a fantastic first round matchup. We have the Chozen Ones versus Exit Woundz. Now, some people are thinking, well, wait a second. Wasn't Exit Woundz the last team that got in the playoffs? Yes, they are. They grabbed the last wildcard spot. But if you follow Exit Woundz, they're anything but a wildcard team. They have made it to Battle Bowl a number of times, and they've also gotten as far as the finals a number of times. The one thing they don't have, the chip. The Wilder Cup is this year that they get it. On the other side, the Chozen. A team from actually this area, this neck of the woods. I'm sure most of them, if not all of them, have bowled at Laurel Lanes before. Could they have the home house advantage here?
Seven of our bowlers bowl in this house. So we know something they don't know. Once them transition hit the middle of game one, we're going to see our really good action. They'll start looking good at practice. Lanes will change quickly here. Lanes will change 100% quickly at Laurel.
By the way, for everybody, let's introduce you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. By the way, yes, he is a member of the Chozen Ones.
Yes, I'm Slim Shady. Everybody know me Shady. Former UBA welterweight champion.
That is correct.
I might add.
Yes, sir.
So I am the owner of the Chozen Ones. It should be a competitive match. I already have my top lineup out here. 2 of my college bowlers couldn't bowl today, but we should be all right. It could be a competitive match. If our scratch pairs stay close, I got no worries about my handicap pairs.
I was about to say the exact same thing. The question for Chozen Ones is going to be the scratch pair. Exit Woundz is loaded, and we're going to start with the scratch pair today, so let's do a quick intro on that. For the Chozen Ones, Aaron Wright, Mike Dickey, Tom Minko. For Exit Woundz, Daquan Green, Harvey Luna, Andrew Lazarchek. If some of those names sound familiar, especially on Exit Woundz sides, it's because you may have seen or heard from them from some sort of other organization called the PBA and the regionals, something like that. But anybody and everybody is allowed to bowl in the UBA for whatever reason, and in this case, playoff time. This is going to be a fantastic matchup, and the key for Chozen Ones is this. They got to keep the scratch close. We're going to find out real quickly whether or not they do so. And from what Slim Shady said, they think Exit Woundz is going to have a good look early. However, things may change come the transition. We shall find out how correct or inaccurate he's going to be momentarily. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds left before we start the playoffs. Now, let me explain a little bit about the playoffs and the point system, especially if you are not familiar to the UBA. There are three sets of trios. I shouldn't say 3 pairs. There are 3 people on a team. They're trios. There's 1 scratch. That's what we'll be focusing on first. The other 2 are handicap. The handicap is 80% of 240, so you are going to see the handicap on the other team's side. Each game is worth 2 points. If you win the series, it is 4. If you win the overall wood, that is the total pinfall from all 3 pairs of trios, that is a bonus 10. That is usually, not always, but usually where the match is won or lost. If there is a tie, there will be a 1-game roll-off. On that, depending on where you are and when you want it, most of the teams probably don't want to see a tie. Unless you're trailing, in which case you do want to see a tie. So let's quickly go over the other lineups that you're going to be seeing later. Chozen One, handicap pair 1, Sean Yost, Kevin Williams, Deron Brooks. Against Exit Woundz, Michael McDowell, Rich Fairley Jr., and John J.R. Hunter III. On the final pair, which we'll be looking at game 3, Robert Folks is for Chozen One. Robert Folks, Stephen Rowe Jr., Thomas Lindsay. For Exit Woundz, Darian LeMay, Avinash, a.k.a. Avi Rampersad, and Alfonso Gaines Jr. Those are your lineups as we have less than a minute to go. We're going to be focusing on the scratch pair game 1, handicap pair 1 game 2, and then the last pair game 3. Obviously, if there's something going on, someone's got a potential 300, or if it's close and team the team that has the most frames left may be determining who wins or loses the overall wood, we're going to bounce over to that. Once again, thanks to Frank Loquendo and Mia for helping us out with the setup. They worked well. Everybody's been here since, we've all been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. They got here at 8 a.m. to set everything up. So this is the first. This is a double header, by the way. This is the first squad at 10 a.m. I will talk more about the second matchup come 2 o'clock. The one thing that they both have in common, both matches feature teams from the New Jersey Northeast, and both New Jersey Northeast teams have had a habit of getting to Battle Bowl. Will this be the year that they do it again, or will this be the year that a team such as the Chozen Ones or someone else knocks them out? We are going to find out. I hear Mike Dickey in the background yelling Chozen Ones. Yes, he is right. Got it. Okay. So I do have a guest mic, and it will be used. There'll be many people that we will be chatting about. Some people having everything to do with the match, and other people maybe having nothing to do with the match, but they'll be fun. Anyway, we are going to focus on the first pair. Eventually, once we start pulling. So assuming that these lineups are correct, and they should be, we're going to see it again. We will see this on lead 7 and 8. Once we get out of full screen mode, we will go to normal mode momentarily. For your Chozen Ones, Aaron Wright. For Exit Woundz, Daquan Green. And here we go. Daquan Green's going to start us off. First ball coming up. It's good. You're going to be seeing a lot of striking. You're also not going to be hearing a lot of noise yet. Exit Woundz has got a full capacity of people around here. They were going to get very loud because that's what they're good at. And so everything is starting. And it is not starting well for Chozen Ones. Aaron Wright leaving a split 4-6-7. Again, one of the keys to this match is the scratch cannot afford to let the wood get away from them. Exit Woundz is a team that can definitely make your life miserable if they get up, and it's going to be really, really hard to get the wood back. And then second person up, Harvey Luna, looking to strike to continue for Exit Woundz. He will not. 10-pin. All right, Mike Dickey up for Chozen Ones, leaves a 6-pin. Looks like we'll have an exchange of 1-pin spares, assuming that Harvey Luna makes his, and he does. Coming up in the anchor spot for Exit Woundz, regional, multi-regional and tournament champion, Andrew Lazarchuk. So if that name sounds familiar, if you've been paying attention to a bunch of those telecasts, that is familiar. He is familiar, and he usually spends his time bowling for Exit Woundz when he is not doing this thing called touring. To get to this point, by the way, all UBA bowlers must have had at least 9 games, which is the equivalent to 3 tour stops or 2 tour stops in a tournament. And it's going to be expected strike from Lazarchuk. Exit Woundz putting on pressure early. Tom Minko going for Chozen Ones. There's a strike there. Exit Woundz right now with a quick 10-pin lead as we go to the second frame on scratch. And again, we're going to be following this up. Exit Woundz is D, E, F. Chozen Ones A, B, C. Now, obviously, if this turns into a blowout matter, it doesn't matter about anything that I talk about in terms of points. Aaron Wright redeems himself from that open with a strike. Can Daquan make it 2 in a row? Yes, he can. Double there, and again, Exit Woundz starting to put a little bit of pressure early. They are now up 20. on Scratch. If you are Chosen Ones, this was not the strategy that you employed in the rule book. Part of this is keep this close. So they better hope that that transition, whenever the heck that happens, starts to happen. Keep in mind, Exit Wounds, and I know this, I've covered them for many a time. Very good with dealing with transition. We'll see whether or not that works from home court advantage. Mike Dickey, first strike for him. Harvey Luna up right now for Exit Wounds. Waiting a little bit on Luna. There's a shot. Luna looking for strike number 1. He's got it. Right now, a 3-2 advantage on this frame, plus 20 pins overall. The good thing if you're Chosen Ones is at least you're throwing strikes in the second frame. First frame, you got 1 strike, and then a spare, and then an open. They right now got 4 on the board. Double from Tim Minko. Here's Andrew Lazarchuk over on lane 7. Looking to at least mark here to keep it even 4-4. A strike puts him up 5-4. And then Exit Wounds plus 20. Lazarchuk coming up. That ball looks a little high. It is. 2-4-7. Assuming he makes this spare, it'll be even 4-4. Chosen Ones only down 10. And what they have said, they are relying on the handicap to create the advantage for them. And theoretically, if you're looking at it, you got 2 handicap pairs, 1 scratch pair. Even if they lose scratch, they're thinking if they take both handicaps and then hold on to the wood, that will be enough to defeat Exit Wounds, and they will be correct on that. Ooh. You know, I give Andrew Lazarchuk all this dap and all this credit, and then all of a sudden he misses a 3-pin combo. Leaves a few. So Chosen Ones will get the 10 pins that they lost right back in the second frame, or even. Starting with DeQuan Green, Day-Day, another strike, 3 in a row. Theoretically, Exit Wounds up by 1 pin. Again, based on the 7 open from Aaron Wright in the first frame. Wright looking to make things right with a double. He does. So all of a sudden, it's the yips that showed up in the first frame are no longer here, it looks like, for Aaron Wright. And maybe for the rest of the bowlers, with the exception of Lazarchuk, who threw a what the heck was that in the second frame. Harvey Luna, third frame, looking for a double of his own, and he's not going to get it, still at the 6 pin. And this is a chance for the Chosen Ones to not only get the advantage, but to really put some pressure on Exit Wounds. And I'm surprised I'm saying that this early in game 1, and more importantly, I'm surprised I'm saying that about Chosen Ones, especially from what they did in the first frame. And I'm not sure if you can hear the background noise, but there's starting to be a little bit more background noise, and it looks like Exit Wounds is starting to fill it. There's a double from Mike Dickey. Luna looking to make the spare, and he does. Andrew Lazarchuk, no problem in frame 1, major problem frame 2. Let's see what he does frame 3. Meanwhile, he's going up against Minko. Minko has not made a mistake this game. Noise he missed. Minko, here's that shot coming up. That ball looks good. It is 3 in a row for Minko. Right now, all 3 members of Chosen Ones are on at least doubles or better. Versus only 1 over for Exit Wounds. And right now, Lazarchuk leaves the 6-10. Assuming that Lazarchuk makes the spare, and I can't assume that because he did open in the second frame, but assuming he makes the spare, it's going to be 6-4 in marks, favor of Chozen Woundz, and all of a sudden they went down from down 20 to up 20. Lazardic makes a spare. Chozen Woundz up by 19. And again, part of their strategy is keep the scratch pair close. If they can win the scratch pair, even better. That all being said, their handicap pair, especially in the middle, is in trouble. We will get to that in game 2. Right now, scratch game 4. One bowler on each side has got the front 3. Daquan Green on exit wounds looking for front 4. There it is. 4 in a row. Can Tamiko counter that? We will find that out momentarily. Aaron Wright wishes to keep pace with Daquan Green. So he's looking for 3 in a row. That ball's high though. Yep, 8-pin. Little bit too high. I'm sorry, not 8-pin, 9-pin. Little bit too high. Still leads a 9-pin. So what Slim Shady has said before in terms of transition coming up, we'll see how accurate that is. We'll find out a lot more about that in game 2. Right, we'll convert the spare. Luna, meanwhile, throws a strike in the 4th frame. Yeah, Dickey with another strike. Now looking at Minko. Minko looking for 4 in a row. Lazarchek coming up. That is one lefty that hasn't figured it out, and he still has it. 8-pin up there. Now that is the 8. Called the 9-pin and 8-pin earlier. Sorry, that one's an 8-pin. Minko looking for 8 strikes in a row from the team. If he gets it, he does. Actually make that 10 in a row for Chozen Woundz. And them starting to pour it on against exit wounds is not a word that I would be using in my vernacular right now, but that's sort of looking what it is. The only reason why it hasn't turned into a complete blowout right now, as Lajarczyk makes a spare, is of their first bowler, Daquan Green, front 4, looking for 5 as we get to close to the halfway mark in game 1. Here comes Green. That ball looks good. Does he get the 10-pin? Yes. Does he get the 7-pin? No. That ends right there. It leaves a 7-pin, and all of a sudden, there's nobody on exit wounds that is coming up with a double. And that could be really bad, especially if they continue. Aaron Wright right here. Yes, I've got a very worried Darius Mays behind me right now. Oh, he's not worried. Now he's not worried. Nah. So the phone call that I just heard about, yeah, we're not doing anything right now. That was a figment of my imagination. Is that what we're saying?
No, we're fine. We're fine. Lineup's in, 9 bowlers to bowl, good to go.
Lineup is in, 9 bowlers to bowl. It looks like that you're in really good shape on the second pair, because you've already caught up with the handicap. However, it's that scratch pair that may be a little bit of a cause for concern right now.
We all right. You know what I mean? They just got to get going. Harvey's about to strike right here. There he goes. You know what I mean? Once he gets going, we good.
All right, so that was Darius Mays. Here's Andrew Lazarchuk. Lazarchuk right now, 1 strike, 1 open, 2 spares. Finally, he's got the striking down. However, and a big however here, they got a hole that they got to dig themselves out of. I was about to say that hole is about to get a little bit deeper. No, it is not. There's a 9-pin from Tim Minko. His 4 in a row is now gone. Nobody working on a perfect game. As of right now, Mike Dickey can go out the door for 290, which is interesting to say because that's the guy with the lowest average. Lowest average being 218, but he has said on more than one occasion he knows these lanes. Looks like right now all 3 of the chosen ones, at least on the scratch side, know these lanes. If he makes this spare at this point, there will be even 4 marks to 4 marks. Chosen ones will be up by around 28 pins. Assuming he makes a spare, and he does. Chosen one's up by 28, even 4 on 4. Dickey's got a double. Lazarchuk and Luna are both Lazarchuk and Luna are both on strikes. Right, meanwhile, strike of his own. And here's Dickey coming up. Meanwhile, Daquan Green looking to get back on track after leaving a 7-pin last frame. Will he do so now? Yes, he will. Dickey on 4 in a row, looking for 5. That shot looks good. Maybe a little high. No, buried. I was expecting that ball to squirt out and move a little bit. It did not. That is a dead hit. 5 in a row for Dickey. It would have been 5 in a row for Minko, but he left an 8-pin. He's going to be going up to get back on the striking train. Meanwhile, Harvey Luna looking for 3 in a row on his end. And he leaves that same 8-pin that's been stymieing everybody right now. There is a multitude of left-hand bowlers, at least on the scratch side. Strategy may be the fact that, well, lower lane's lefty hitting house. Minko is a righty and leaves a 10-pin. And we're hearing a little bit of noise over there from the handicap, too. Looks like it's funny because the strategy is sort of working in reverse at this moment for chosen ones. Scratch right now, they have in control. It is the 2 handicap pairs that they could have some issues with. Again, we shall get to that later. Waiting on Minko to see if he makes a spare, and then we're going to wait on Lazarchuk to see if he can make the double. Starting in the 7th frame, Woundz got some work to do. Daquan Green, who has been the reason why they are still in this game, leaves a 3-6-10. And the other reason why Woundz is still in the game is that the chosen ones have gotten open from Aaron Wright. That one, a very painful one. So I'm not sure if anybody went to church, but that's on Sunday. This is Saturday, and we have the Episcopalian variety. Daquan Green makes a spare. Here comes Woundz. Wright will get 3. Woundz was in a different situation. They're starting to make that back up. Right now, they need to rely on Mike Dickey to help to help keep the ship afloat. Harvey Luna coming up looking for a strike here, doesn't do it. That may be a little bit of the transition that Shady was talking about. Have a bucket plus 1 on that side for Harvey Luna to contend. Meanwhile, Mike Dickey is looking for 6 in a row. Dickey looking for 6. That ball looks good. It is 6 in a row for Mike Dickey. And right now he is carrying Chozen Woundz. At this point, Luna needs to make the spare. He does. Right now we're tied. 2 marks, 2 marks in the 7th frame. Lazarchik's got the double. Looking for another one here to cut that down. Tim Minko working on a spare. Regardless of what Minko does, if Lazarchik strikes, Exit Woundz will be moving even closer and maybe getting close to taking the lead back. There's Minko. That shot's a little light, 10-pin. Right now, the best they can do is 3 marks on the side of Chozen Woundz. Exit Woundz has 2, can make it 4 here. Here's a shot from Lazarchik, looking for the triple. Got it. And assuming they make the spare, Exit Woundz is now down by less than 20 pins. If Minko does not make the 10-pin, Exit Woundz, with these strikes and collateral, has a chance to take the lead in the 9th frame. Minko shot the 10-pin. Got it. It's good. Going into the 8th frame. And if you're an Exit Woundz fan, so far you're not liking what you're seeing. Chozen Woundz are up. However, Exit Woundz are higher on the marks. Now that he just said that, Aaron Wright with a strike. Dickey looking for 7 in a row when we get to him. DePon Green looking to throw a strike up on the board. 8th frame. There's a shot from Green. That ball looks good. It is. Here comes Exit Woundz. So they were good in the first for Exit Woundz, not good in the second. Started to dip in the third. Needed to play catch-up from that point. And they're trying to do just that. Mike Dickey, however, wants to stop him, or at least stop the momentum going. That's 7 in a row for Dickey. Harvey Luna up for Exit Woundz. Looking to throw a strike. Right here, add some more pressure for Exit Woundz. He's done that. Exit Woundz looking for 4-3 in terms of marks. Again, if they do that, it's going to be a single-digit game. And in order for them to do that, Lazarchik's got to throw another strike. First things first, here's Tim Minko going up, started really hot. And now he is not carrying 7-pin. Door is open for Exit Woundz to close this to under 10 pins. Here's Lazarchik's shot. Can he continue? Yes, 7-pin goes down. 3 in a row for Lazarchik. Exit Woundz are up 4-3, but more importantly, all of their bowlers have daggers going into the 9th frame. They're all on strikes. You got only 1 bowler on Chozen Woundz on strikes going into the 9th frame. And Tim is not happy about it, and there's a reason for it. He misses the 7-pin, and now all of a sudden, instead of them closing it to single digits, Exit Woundz can take the lead in the foundation frame, and keep in mind, all of them are on strikes at this point. Aaron Wright coming up for Chozen Woundz. He's the only one on a strike. He needs to double. He does. Big strike from Chozen Woundz right there. But now here we go. Can Dede start to lead the pack for Exit Woundz? He does right there. There's 1 double. They're looking for double number 2 from Harvey. And double number 3, though it wouldn't be a double. It would be the latest on a chain from Lazarchik. Mike Dickey in the 9th frame looking for 8 in a row from him. Yes, sir. That was solid. And if Chozen Woundz winds up winning this game, that man is the reason why they do so. Harvey Luna looking for a double. He's got it. Miko looking to have something going in the 10th frame. He'll throw a strike. However, here's the deal. If Lazarjic can throw the strike here, that will be 6-4. 6-4. More importantly, they will take the lead going into the 10th frame. Lazarjic looking for 5. Got it. All of Exit Woundz are on the double on the foundation frame. Here we go, 10th frame. And it is now Exit Woundz with the lead. And this is exactly what Exit Woundz' game plan was, and this is exactly what Shady did not want to see. Kwang Green looking for another one. He gets it. And here we go. Here's what makes Exit Woundz dangerous, especially in the 10th frame. This is where they can pour it on, and if you're Chozen Woundz, and again, you're up by 40 during this game. If you're Chozen Woundz, the one thing you don't want is to fall during the 10th, and all of a sudden being plus 40 turns into being minus 100. Big shot from Aaron Wright right there. Chozen Woundz technically still up by 6. Kwang Green right now looking to keep that going. He does. Here's a jump with a fist pump, and then Stoic like, yeah, I knew that was going down. That's now 4-0 for Green, by the way, as we continue in the 10th frame. Aaron Wright's turn to respond. Right, 10th frame, needs it. Got it. There's 2, Chozen Woundz still up by 6. Day finishes not with a strike, but with a 258 game. Aaron Wright is going to finish striking at the door. Aaron Wright, 211. Harvey Luna looking for 3 in a row. However, the storyline is not there. And the storyline's really not there with the 4-6. Chozen Woundz needed a break. This may be the break that they get because they already know they're going to be losing some pavement over to Lazarjic with his whole bunch of strikes versus Minko's 1. Dickey has to take advantage of this. This has got to be a strike. And this was a bad time to do that. That is a bucket. Sure, it's not an open, and however, and a big however, that may not be enough coverage. That being said, if he does pick up the spare, and Minko strikes out, Chozen Woundz will grab this game. Harvey tries to make the spare, he does not. 200 for Luna, but that could have been a very painful open in the 10th frame if you're an Exit Woundz fan. Now, if you're a Chozen Woundz fan, you don't need Mike Dickey to throw an open over here, and he does. Missed opportunities for Chozen Woundz. And not only do they not have a chance to lock the game up at this point, there is nothing they can do if Andrew Lazarjic strikes out. And here's the first shot. No, 6-pin. Now pressure on Minko. A strike here, despite everything else, a strike here will give Chozen Woundz the win if he gets a strike. And he does. Back and forth match. He will still need count here. but advantage on the scratch side, Chosen Ones. And if you're looking at the game plan from what Shady was thinking, the fact that they won the scratch has got to be a bonus because he was relying on the handicap, not the scratch. And wow. Second shot here from Minko. 10-pin, but that's enough in terms of the points. They'll be up by 12, even if Lazarchik strikes here, they'll be up by 2. So they'll be either be up by 2 or by 3. It doesn't matter. The 2 that's really important are the 2 points that they have just obtained by winning this game. Minko's going to finish with the 224. More importantly, Chosen Ones are going to finish with the game. And if you had Chosen Ones being up 2-zip on the scratch side, that's not in a lot of people's bingo cards. Certainly was not on Exit Wound's bingo card, but that's what they have right now, and that's what they got to deal with. So meanwhile, while we are waiting on people to get scores, we're going to focus over on the handicap pair 1 fruit. Now, keep in mind, again, Exit Wounds is D, E, F, and they are up at this point. Chosen One's A, B, C. As we go over to game 2, I'm quickly popping over and looking at everything. It is close everywhere on both of these. Overall, what I think is pretty much going to be in play, at least it is after game 1. So we're looking at first handicap near the end of game 1. It looks like Exit Wounds is going to take that one. This one very, very close on the handicap side, handicap 2. Looks like Exit Wounds is going to take that one as, actually, no, not necessarily. Depends on whether or not a spare is made. You see that 6-10 over there on lane 12? That's going to determine who wins the handicap pair. If Chosen Ones make the spare, they've got it. If Chosen One does not make the spare, Exit Wounds is going to take that and the handicap pair in the middle. Either way, total wood, needless to say, close. That is not going to be determined at the end of this game. Usually when you have a game, sometimes, once in a while, it's like, all right, this match is over. Not here. This is why you guys voted on it. Gonna make the spare? Yes, he is. That puts Chosen Ones up by 7. The best Exit Wounds can do is to get the wood back by 3, which they will. Chosen Ones, if he keeps the ball on the lane, it is 4-2 Chosen Ones after game 1. It is not. If not, it is 4-2 Exit Wounds after 1. So one game is going to be determined by 3 pins. A second game is going to be determined by less than 10. A little messy, but it's still good enough. So Chosen Ones. Chosen Ones have got 2 pairs by combined 9 pins. You don't think every pin counts? UBA, every pin counts. And in the middle, which we're going to focus on game 2, this has become a little bit interesting in terms of the amount Exit Wounds go win by, but Exit Wounds is still going to win by it. because Exit Wounds is up by 35, the best Chosen ones can do is get 30 pins back. However, this could, ironically enough, this could actually determine the wood after game one. That's how close everything is. If you're going to make a sub, that's going to go over there first. Got to bring it in there first if you're making a sub.
I'm going to let you know. We'll bring it in there.
Okay, cool.
He's making a sub in the C spot. Yeah, we got to make a emergency sub on pair 2. Got ankle bowler hand, his fingers messed up. He gutted it out. Guys to win. So we're going to see what happens next game.
Make sure you call before they start throwing a ball. Make sure you put the sub in. Are we good? You got to chat with them. I'm just calling the matches. I have said this on more than one occasion. If you have a sub, you need to call it in through them. You can tell me all you want, which is great for the broadcast, but you got to let them know first. Which is what I said, is Frank is my witness here. Isn't that right, Frank?
Yes, that's true, Frank.
Frank is my material witness here. I said on more than one occasion, before you get here, you got to go over there.
Exactly. So, yes, Gordon, what you speak is the truth, and you are above any blame on this.
Everybody will find some way to blame me on something. This is going to be the thing now, which is going to be, well, I told Gordon, and I said 3 times, don't tell me. You got to tell them. This is why I'm going to get into trouble. This is why I'm getting into trouble this year in the playoffs.
You can take that as a compliment because people think you're in charge.
I do appreciate the compliment.
You know? You look like you're in charge, and people want answers from you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's fun. It's fun. That all being said, here we are with game 2. Yeah, they're asking me, Gordon, are you good? I don't know. I'm calling it. If you guys are good, you're good. If the official scoring is good, they're good. That's all well and good.
Right. I got you, man.
Frank's got my back.
You are not involved in that. I got your back on that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Frank. But anyway, in terms of the overall wood, Chosen Ones have won those 2 games combined by 9. Exit Wounds won the middle game by, I believe, 5. So right now it is 4-2 Chosen Ones. Chosen Ones has got the wood by 4 pins. And here we go. So now we're gonna focus on the handicap pair over on game 2. So I have Sean Yost, who right now has started with a 9 and he's open, and that's not really what you want to do, especially in a game like this where all 3 games have been decided by less than 10 pins each. So meanwhile, Michael Bladau with a 9 spare. Richard Fairley Jr. strike, J.R. Hunter 10 pin. Meanwhile, Rich Fairley Jr. with a strike over Exit Wounds. And now we're going to see our first look. I'm sorry, Kevin Williams. Now we're going to see our first look at Deron Brooks. J.R. Hunter looking to make the spare. He will. Now, the other question I'm really curious about is, on time, or was he too busy chatting with me over on the microphone saying what he's doing?
I couldn't tell you.
I may quickly go out and do a check on this. I'm assuming that they did because it doesn't look like there's additional squawking. So actually, you know what? My curiosity has peaked. I will be right back. Give me 10 seconds. I'll be back on this. All right, so I am back. This is Gordon Pepper. We're in game 2. And officially the sub did get in on time. And we'll be chatting with the sub and looking at the sub in game 3. Right now we're in game 2. If you missed game 1, where the heck were you guys? All 3 games determined by less than 10 pins. Chozen Woundz took 2 of them. They won the scratch by 3. They won handicap 2 by 6. Exit Woundz took the second one by 5. So right now it is 4-2 Chozen Woundz, and they've got the wood by 4. That being said, Exit Woundz, who's DEF, has got some work to do. J.R. Hunter, who started with the spare, has got some work to do. Ooh, and he almost left at 7-10. We will obviously be covering all 3 matches as they go along. Just a reminder, the team that gets the 21 points first wins, advances. The team that cannot get to 21 points, their season's over. And they are done. Clearly, with the intensity so far, no one wants their season to be over. And right now, when we're going to be getting that handicap pair 2, eventually in game 3, there is all bunch of strikes being thrown by Chozen Woundz. Exit Woundz has got some opens on the board. That is no good at this point for them. Spare right now for J.R. Hunter in the second frame. That's good for them. Right now, looking at it. Now, what's more important in this case is, obviously, you see, because it's handicap, you see where the, not just the total wood is, but the total number of pins are. So right now, Chozen Woundz are up on the wood, and they get, now here's the issue, they get 13 pins. They're up, but they're not up by 13 pins, which means Exit Woundz is starting to get on the attack. McDowell leaves an 8-pin. And that open from the aforementioned Sean Yost, who is up now, is the reason why Exit Woundz has been starting to close the gap.
Yes.
So you've got to be happy with the events and how Game 1 has unfolded, I would think.
And it turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I think pair 2 is probably my stronger cat pair, but we got away with one. We got away with one on the scratch pair, which I'm really happy about. It's going to be a tight match. We both look a very good team. It's going to be a tight match.
Well, you not only got away with one on scratch in Game 1, Game 2, they're starting to turn it on. They're up by around 40 pins at this point. What's going on here? What's going on with your scratch pair?
We like I said, we bowl here, so we know the transitions. Their team will hit transitions sooner or later. Our first bowler on Cat 1 on bowl here, so he'll experience the transition problem also. But rest of our bowlers bowl here. We know the transitions here. It's going to be a big transition sooner or later, and we're going to see which team better handle it best.
All right. I'm sure we'll be talking a number of times later. Good luck. That was Shady over on Chozen Woundz. He said earlier. Has their hand. That was Shady. Shady was the head, or is still the head of Chozen Woundz, and right now he's got his hands full with Exit Woundz. Or if you're an Exit Woundz fan, they've got their hands full with Chozen Woundz. Either way, this is going to go back and forth. I don't see any team really getting much of an edge, maybe until the third game. I mean, right now, all 3 games tight. Kevin Williams right now for Chozen Woundz. And of course, the second that I open my mouth. I'm sorry, Kevin Williams. Exit Woundz are happy. Yeah, Gordon, keep talking about Chozen Woundz. We're good. So now that I was saying that it's going to be close, we had an open from Sean Yost. Another one, a second one of this game, 2 out of 3. That's not good. A soon-to-be open from Kevin Williams. Now, the one good thing is that Jerome Brooks is on a double. However, if that ends, you are looking at, right now, 4 marks on Exit Woundz' side in the third frame. And obviously, with the 2 opens, they've already made up the handicap. And as Shady said, this may be the stronger pair for Chozen Woundz, maybe. Duran's playing like it. And that's all I got for you. Meanwhile, 4-2 Exit Woundz. Exit Woundz now up by 25 And they're threatening to make this the one stretchy game that is what Chozen Woundz was planning on avoiding. As I say, hi, you know what, let's chat a little bit with Brandon Burwell. I've got him over here. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing okay. Right now, very tight match. Chozen Woundz took 2 out of 3, but the wood is only 5 pins.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, Exit Woundz can come
It's
back
very
from
tight.
this because it's only 5 pins.
You know how we get it.
Yeah, well,
My sub is rolling very well. I'm happy about that. You can hear me?
Yep,
Good.
we can hear you.
So what? We're up 1 pair right now. We're at 1 pair 1.
Yeah, you got your middle pair won by 5. The other 2 lost by a combined 9 pins.
Okay.
So it's still everything is very close at this point. So it looks like Exit Woundz is having some issues on the scratch pair. However, Chozen Woundz on the middle pair are having some issues of their own, and Exit Woundz may be able to take some of that back on that way. And I say that right before he opened, and he's going to.
1 game down, almost halfway through the second one.
Yeah, so if you're going to pick the key player for Exit Woundz right now, and right now, as I said, it is really tight all over the place. You're going to pick that one player that you think that's going to step up, and that's the reason why Exit Woundz wins. Which player is that? And obviously, you got a whole bunch of choices here, but pick one.
I would say I'll give it to Avi.
That's Avinash
I
Raprasad.
expect
We're
more
going to
from
see. That is Avinash
And he
Raprasad.
just struck.
And he just struck. And we're going to see him on game 3. We're going to see more of him there.
Absolutely.
So that's good foreshadowing right there. I like that.
Yes.
So,
He has Indian Jesus on his back, even though there's no Jesus that's Indian.
I believe. I don't know that much about religion, so I'm not going to open my mouth and say something incredibly stupid, where I'm going to try to figure out what that equivalent would be, and then I get text going, "No, Gordon, you idiot! It's this." I know better. Anyway, I will let you go and enjoy the rest of this. Good luck to you guys.
Brody. Always good seeing you.
Pleasure as always. Thank you. So that's Brandon Burwell over at Exit Woundz. Brandon not bowling the squad, obviously, but his sub is bowling very well. And as he said, hopefully he's looking to bowl again next round, which he will do if his team wins. Right now, second half, his team is starting to pour it on a little bit. Despite the open, you still have 4 in a row coming from Richard Fairley Jr. And then a double from J.R. Hunter. And basically what they needed Ron Book to do was to throw another one for a 4-bagger. Clearly he did not do that. 3-6-10. They said Exit Woundz threatening to blow the middle handicap pair open, which they're going to need because Chozen Woundz are threatening to blow the scratch pair open. And you're hearing it getting a little bit louder, which is expected, especially with Exit Woundz. Exit Woundz, as I've said before, when they travel as a unit. They travel as a group. They travel with a good 5 to 10 people in the back, and they did not disappoint today. Even though it's an hour and a half drive away from them, for them, that doesn't mean anything. Sean Yost with the strike for Chozen Woundz, trying to get them back on the board. McDowell looking to also get back on the board. He does. Right now, we're looking at Exit Woundz up by around 30 pins in the middle set. However, Rich Fairley Jr. has got the one thing that no one else has, which is a string. And when I say that, I don't mean a string of 2, I mean a string of 4. Fairley looking for 5. He's got it. Rich Fairley with 5 on the board. And again, if they want to counter, Kevin Williams needs a double, and a double I don't mean big 4, I mean double, and he's not getting either, 7-pin. Big shot coming up for J.R. Hunter III. He would love to back Rich Fairley with a double, with actually not a double, 3 in a row. If he can do that, and he can. This is exactly what Chozen Woundz did not want, and this is exactly what Exit Woundz did want. And Shady said he's surprised. This is supposedly his better handicap pair. It's not looking like it right now. Making the spare right now. Chozen Ones are staring at Exit Woundz 5 marks in that frame. The best that they could do is 3 marks. So again, they're going to lose another 20 pins this frame. So now they are going to be down 50 and change. Obviously, we know officially what game 1 is afterwards. I will go check the officials on game 2 once this is done. There's a strike from Jerome Brooks, and he needed to get back on here. Right now, Exit Woundz up by 50 as we go into the second half of game 2. Looking at the other scores, game 1, Chozen Ones up by around 50 themselves. Game 3, Chozen Ones also up by around 50. So if I'm Exit Woundz right now in the middle, I've got to stretch them out by as much as they can because I'm getting no help from the other pairs. Here's the key here. If they get swept by Chozen Ones, that's 10 and 10 on the sides ahead of them. However, in the middle, if they can take everything in the wood, that will be a 20-20 tie. We're looking at a roll-off, and we're looking at a 10-pin over from Mike McDowell. Meanwhile, from Sean Yoss, we're looking at a wash and another potential open. So even without a double, Exit Woundz can still make up some more ground. But what Exit Woundz really needs to do is, I said, they got to blow them out of the water. Overall wood is a thing in the UBA, and it is huge. That carries 10 points. That usually decides who wins. And it may very well decide who wins in this matchup. McDowell with the spare. Fairly up, fairly front 5. Let's see if Sean Yost can somehow make the spare if they're going to fall further behind. No, misses it. So if I'm Chozen Ones and I'm looking at this, now I know I need to do better on my pair than what Exit Woundz is doing in the middle because Exit Woundz has got 2 bowlers on at least 3 or more. One of those bowlers was a 5-bagger. And now he's looking for a 6-bagger, and he just walked away from it. He knew it was good, and it was. Rich Fairley 6 in a row. Now, can J.R. Hunter III make it 4 in a row for him and really put pressure on Chozen Ones? Another strike from J.R. Hunter, and there's another 5 marks on the board for Exit Woundz. Chozen Ones with the strike. That's from Kevin Williams. Jerome Brooks, again, he had the first 3, then threw a bad shot, then threw a strike. He needs to double, at least keep it. At least keep it at 3, only cut the deficit down by 20. Because that's what the deficit's going to be if he strikes, because there's another strike from J.R. Hunter. A strike here, they only lose 20 pins. If he doesn't throw a strike, then things can get real bad. And meanwhile, I'm wondering if my eye is deceiving me. Is that a triple mark? 3 digits on the scratch side that Chozen Ones are up by. Wow, this is like upside down land right now. So there is a baby split that Jerome Brooks needs to hit. If he doesn't hit it, all of a sudden it's 5. It's not only 5-1, it's 5-1 with Exit Woundz. One of them on a 300 pace, the other one on a 250 pace. And he's not going to make the spare. This could be a big problem for Chozen Ones. I say that while they're up by over 100 on scratch, however, Exit Woundz can neutralize that right now in a big way if they keep throwing strikes. 7th frame coming up. Here's McDowell looking to join the strike train that his other teammates are on. Oh, boy. Well, that's not going to happen, Big 4. And if I'm Chozen Ones right now, that's a huge sigh of relief from them. Sean Yost said, I'm Sean Yost. I'm not trying to do anything special. I just need a mark. If I get a mark, I at least cut something down. A strike obviously is better, and he's going to hit that. McDowell gets 2. Chozen one's starting to try to get some of that wood back. That being said, now they got to figure out how to do it against Rich Fairley Jr. and J.R. Hunter III. Kevin Williams looking to double. That would certainly help Chozen ones. And it does. Big double. Now, it's sort of weird because now originally what Shady was saying is minimize the damage on the scratch, get both handicaps. And now it's going to be minimize the damage on the handicap and get more on the scratch. I'm trying to understand this. Frank doesn't understand it. Frank's shrugging his shoulders right now. That all being said, front 7 from Rich Fairley. J.R. Hunter's looking for 5 in a row. Again, they got to get it as... If I'm Exit Woundz, I got to cut down what Chozen Woundz is doing on the left-hand side. If I'm Exit Woundz, I need to try to make back what we're losing on what they're losing on the left-hand side. 5 in a row from Hunter. Jerome Brooks will make it the spare. Exit Woundz does continue to build. 4-3 right now on them. Right now they're up. Well, as I said before, they're up. It looks like they're up by 90. They're trying to do what Chozen Woundz is doing to them on scratch. There's a strike by McDowell. A-frame coming up. And, of course, the interesting thing is going to be what's going to happen in handicap 2. Because we're going to focus on that in game 3. Yost looking for the double. Well, at least as someone said, solid 8. At least he left the 1-2. That should be easy enough to pick up. Should be. Not necessarily is, but should be. However, Fairley's got the front 7. Fairley looking for the front 8. There it is. 8 in a row for Fairley. Looking for a 6 in a row from Hunter. Coming right up. Yeah, with the spare. Fairley being yelled at that he strikes too much. Right now, Exit Woundz needs him to strike more. The problem is they don't have 9 Richard Fairleys. That's technically illegal. He can't pull in all 9 spots. If he could, they'd be in great shape. There's J.R. Hunter. Nope, that goes away. 2-4-7 on the board. So 5 in a row from Hunter's gone. They're still up by over 100. For right now, it's going to be less than that after the other 2 bullets bowl. That's the good news. Kevin Williams needs a 10-pin. And again, seeing what's going on here between the pluses and the minuses. If you're, oh my goodness, yeah. J.R. Hunter does what Andrew Lazarchik did earlier on this game. Gets the bottom 2, hits the top. Williams will make the spare. So what Shady has said in terms of that they feel their strength is a handicap pair, right now maybe coming to roost in that second game on the right handicap side. There does seem, as Shady has said, there does seem to be a transition, and right now it doesn't seem like Exit Woundz is handling it very well. Right now, Deron Brooks isn't handling it very well either. There's a 2-4. Yeah, Rich Fairley up front 8. Everyone else in the Exit Wounds camp, problems. Which is right now the other 2 teams are losing. I'm going to do the quick math here, but the other 2 teams are losing to Chozen Ones by a combined 200 pins at this point. So the one good thing for Exit Wounds at this point, Fairley's got front 8. If they can right now, they're up by around 100. They need to build on that. They can't be happy with just being up 100 because they're seeing what the other 2 teams are doing. And what makes it worse for them, remember when I said that Tim Menko was working on a 300 game 1? He's working on it again game 2. Except this time he hasn't missed. Now before McDowell, I'm sure Exit Wounds is getting the message. We need to turn this up. Here's Minko, 9th frame. Got it. Now, usually I would say we're only going to be focused on 9 and 10 or over here. We need to keep this the way that we have it right now because on lanes 9 and 10, we got front 9 going on by Tim Minko, which is one of the reasons why Chozen Ones is up by around 160 on the scratch pair. Meanwhile, Rich Fairley front 8 on the middle pair. Looking for 9 in a row. Got it. Fairley's got front 9, so we got 2 people on opposing teams with the front 9. And we haven't even looked at handicap pair 2 yet, which we're going to eventually. So, first game, first match, all 3 games were divided by less than 10 pins. Second game, nothing's going to be less than 40. J.R. Hunter's come back with the strike. And again, what Chozen Ones needs to do on the middle pair is keep the damage down. The strike will help. The open by Sean Yost, again, another one does not help.
You see what Avi doing, right?
Well, I just got a message from Brandon Burwell is that first pair is getting whooped. The second and third pair are making up for it. The second pair, yes, they are. The third pair, no, they're not. They're cutting the gap down a little bit, but it still looks like Chozen Ones by at least 40 or 50. But Brandon's right. That scratch pair right now is getting whooped. And they need to administer the same whooping on the middle pair to keep this close. Of course, what's happening for the Chozen Ones is that almost, not quite. Chozen Ones are helping with the whooping on their end in the middle pair. Exit Wounds are now up by over 100. They're up again, 5-1. So Exit Wounds is looking hopefully to win by 100 on their end. Well, more than that, ideally around 150, but that's not going to happen. McDowell leads the 10. I shouldn't say it's not going to happen. That could have been huge. It is not. Sean Yost, again, has a chance to knock this to around 100 and change. Of course, we haven't spoken about Fairley's front 9 and Hunter yet. Gosh, right now, look at, that's high. Oh, he gets a strike anyway. I was about to say another potential open for Chozen Ones. The pins bail him out there. McDowell makes the spare. So we're going to see Harvey Luna and Daquan Green and Andrew Lazarchik finish out. And here's how bad the whooping is, and that's quoting Brandon Burwell and not me. The best that anybody on Exit Wounds can do is a 220. 220 and change. which would be worse than the lowest average bowler on Chozen Ones, which would be Mike Dickey, who's going to finish in the 230s. Exit Woundz looking to close the gap in handicap pair number 2. We will get to that momentarily. However, and a big however, there's 2 other games that we're looking at right now. One by Exit Woundz, one by Chozen Ones. Each of them have front 9. And speaking of which, here we go. Lane 10, Rich Fairley. First shot here coming up, that ball looks good. It is. Front 10 for Rich Fairley. And that's pretty much what Chozen Ones did not want to see. Because again, here's a counter. Now here's a counter over here. Here comes Minko. He's got front 9. He's over on lane 7. Meanwhile, we're going to have a Sean Yoss interlude on lane 9. And Sean will finish in the 180. Here's Tim Minko, first shot. Looking for 10, got it. Both bowlers on front 9, Rich. Fairley looking for number 11. No. 6-10. Meanwhile, what has been a 50 to 60 pin lead on Chozen Ones on handicap 2 has now vanished. And it may go. And there's Avinash Ramprasad, who we were chatting about earlier. Tim Minko going for 11. No. 8 pin. We'll get the final numbers over here. But now we're going to switch over to lanes 11 and 12 for the side act of what's going on at the end of game 2. Because Exit Woundz was down a lot, and they have come back to take the lead. And they're going to have an advantage. Strike to spare, Alfonso Gaines Jr. So Exit Woundz went down from -50 up 37. Thanks to a whole bunch of opens from the Chozen Ones side and non-spares and a whole bunch of striking from Exit Woundz side. J.R. Hunter does not double the 3 pin. Kevin Williams almost strikes out. So if you're Chozen Ones, you got to cut the damage down, because they're going to lose by around as much as what they're going to win. So it looks like they won the scratch by around 131 pins. So I'll notate that. We're going to figure out what Exit Woundz is going to be doing momentarily. And what threatened to be a Chozen Ones blowout has now turned into, once again, a very competitive match. Because whatever they won there, they're going to lose on both handicap squads. And again, if I'm shady, this is sort of the reverse of what I thought was going to happen in this match. Alfonso Gaines Jr. is going to seal the deal for Exit Woundz on the right-hand side. So now they're going to take 2 out of 3, so we're tied 6-6. The question is going to become, what's the wood? And we'll be figuring that out momentarily, and then I am going to get an official check on that. Because Chozen Ones are going to win by 130. They're going to lose by around 111 on the second pair. And they're going to lose the third pair. The question becomes by how much? Someone has said 6-6 and we up. That was from Exit Woundz, and they're right. The wood is still very, very close. So now it looks like The scratch pair, Chozen Woundz up by 134. Handicap, Exit Woundz is up by 117, and we're going to see what the result is over here. The result looks like they're going to be up by, what is that, 71? 71. So Chozen Woundz, Exit Woundz, who were down by around 50 to 60, not only come back, but come back to win dominantly by 71 pins, again, thanks to the huge amount of help that Chozen Woundz gave them. So doing the math very quickly in my head. To 182. All right, so right now I got the wood at around, and I'm going to check this to verify it. Wood is 51 pins. So meanwhile, we're going to focus on the last pair, lanes 11 and 12. Let's again go back to the lineups. And I'm going to say that also because they're going to be the ones that are going to finish last. So now that we know that, we'll know pretty much who needs to win and by what. Chozen Woundz, Robert Folks, Stephen Rose. Now it was Thomas Lindsay. Thomas bowed out. So their sub is now in that spot. Exit Woundz, Darian LeMay, Avinash Ramprasad. As Brandon Burwell has said, Avinash is the one person that's got to step up. He did. And Alfonso Gaines Jr. And here we go. The other two pairs have started. Too close to call there. Obviously, the games are important. Obviously, there could be, there could be a potential size situation, maybe. But it's probably going to be overall what that determines who's going to win. Chozen Woundz, Robert Folks. Going to start with the 6 count. And you got to think now, if you're Exit Woundz, you avoided a big bullet in the middle of game 2, and now all of a sudden you're cooking with gas. You're already up on the wood. You are putting on the pressure. It's now for the Chozen Woundz to respond. And you got to think, if Chozen Woundz winds up winning this, it is their scratch. And again, I'm surprising to me that I'm saying this. If Chozen Woundz wins, it is because of their scratch pair. If Exit Woundz wins, it's because of their handicap pair.
Yeah, we're going to win because our scratch man, too, because they're going to win this game 3.
Darren says, "Oh, we're gonna win game 2, game 3."
We got to sweep.
All right.
Here
So,
comes the
talk
sweep.
to me about this. They're gonna take all 3.
All 3. Here comes the sweep.
Here comes
This is
the
what we
sweep.
do. We struggled a little early. Here comes the sweep.
That's a lie.
I think your buddy Shady has got a difference of
Hey, we're
opinion.
going to see what they do.
We may be on the Maury Povich show later. At the end of that game, I'll say whether or not who's
What is it?
what
What
the
is
lie
it?
detector says.
We 6'6", 6'6", and we up in 1?
Unofficially, you got the win by 51. That's my math, which doesn't mean that's official. I'll go get the official
6'6", and we
material.
up. That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know.
We're going to end up after this game 3, too.
Well, if you win all 3 games, you will be up after game 3, and it's a wrap. If you're not up by all 3 games, then it depends on the margin that you win by.
Let's go, Avi, game changer.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to start about that. Exit Woundz started with an open from Darian LeMay. Avi's got the strike. Avi was one of the key pieces of how they won game 2. And that is not going to help the Chozen Woundz cause. We got an open. Keep in mind, that was a sub that was brought in, because Thomas Lindsay was injured, so they took him out, they put him in. Alfonso Gaines, also a sub, and Lisa Tempin. So right now we got battle of the subs. Which sub reigns supreme? That could determine who advances. Right now, advantage Exit Woundz. Gaines looking to make the spare, he does. So both teams with opens in the first round, so the deficit stays the same. In this case, the deficit, because of both subs, is 21 pins. Which right now Exit Woundz needs to catch, Chozen Woundz needs to hold on to. Darian LeMay with an 8 pin. So Chosen Ones not only need to win, they need to win by, combined by around 50-something pins. Obviously, it will make their life easier if they win all 3 games. If they don't, and Exit Wounds wins a game, then they got to win the other 2 or the other 1, plus 51 more than what they've lost game 3 by. If they do that, they will win. If they do not do that, Exit Wounds will win. Theoretically, there could still be a tie. Theoretically. If the Chosen Ones sweep, that will be 10 points, and if they hold on to the wood, even if they lose the other 2 games and the other wood, they'll force a 20-20 tie. We'll get a roll-off. But Chosen One needs to win, and they need the wood. Avinash Ramprasad, a.k.a. Indian Jesus, up. He was the person that Brandon Burwell said, take a good look at, and he's going to get the FedEx count. 10 pin goes down. Countering, Stephen Rose Jr. for Chosen Ones. Here comes that shot. That looks good. It is. Matching doubles. We have a strike from Robert Folks on top. Double from Stephen Rose Jr. And now we have matching subs. Gains right now with the spare to open advantage. But because the marks are going to be equal, assuming that they both mark, still going to be a 21 pin deficit for Exit Wounds, even though you did get a strike. Going back to Chosen Ones. Reggie Butler is the name of the sub for Chosen Ones. I don't want to say, hey, the sub, especially since they both have subs. Reggie Butler right now leaving the 6'10", that is makeable. And he misses the spare. So now two opens in 2 frames from Chosen Ones, and now all of a sudden, Exit Wounds can start cracking into that handicap they have to face off. Again, they're up on the wood by 50. So even if they only win by 2 or 3 pins, that's an extra 2 or 3 pins that they can add to their plus 50 on wood, and that's one less opportunity Chosen Ones has to make up the gap. So 2 things that need to happen here for Chosen Ones. Number 1, they've got to win the scratch game in the wood. If they fail to do that, then it's pretty much over for them. And then number 2, they've got to make up. They've got to make up the wood that right now Exit Wounds has. And again, you can sort of see how the match is going, we'll continue what's going on from the scratch side, which is progressing a lot quicker than both handicap sides. But going back to handicap. Gary LeMay, 3rd shot up. Makes it fair. Robert Folks looking to double, he does. Now the one guy with the strikes over Chosen Ones, Steve Rose Jr. versus the one guy with all the strikes for Exit Wounds, Avinash Ramprasad. Ramprasad coming up, looks to get 3 in a row. He does. And he gets a hand. Talk to the hand. It's the magic hand. All right, Rose looks to keep count here as well. He does not. 7 pin. Also Gaines now with 2 in a row by himself. Right now, another 5 count for Exit Woundz. To make the spare. Now down to Richie Butler. Butler third frame, and again, they are now in the 3rd. Everybody else scratches in the 5th. First handicap is in the 4th. So we're going to know the mathematical permutations of what needs to happen by the time we get to handicap 2 at the end of that game. Yeah, Butler's got a mess that he needs to clean up. That's a 5 count. And all of a sudden, and I said this before, Exit Woundz is really good with bringing a group with them, and that group is starting to get a little louder. They were very quiet when they saw their lunch being handed to them by Chozen Ones on the scratch pair. Since then, they've started to turn around. The scratch pair is still trailing at this point, but it is close. And Exit Woundz, what they're trying to do is try to make the handicap not close. Robert Folks right now on a double. Jerry LeMay working on a spare. We'll start with him first. There's a shot. That ball looks good. It is not 10 pin. Folks looking to make 4, does. Sorry, looking to make 3 in the 4th frame, he does. 3 in a row for Folks. Yeah, it says spare up there, however, it is not. That is an open. That's a big 2-0 in exchange for Chosen Ones. That being said, Ramprasad has got a 3-bagger. Under him, Gaines has got a double. Exit Woundz still has some weapons that they can match us up with. Keep in mind, both bowlers on Chosen Woundz going into the 4th frame are working on spares in the 3rd. So Exit Woundz can add some space here, but not with the 7-pin standing up. Avoided the 7-10. Rose up looking to get back on strike, and he will not 7-pin, matching 7 pins for both second bowlers. Again, looking at all the numbers and looking at all the math at this point, all 3 games right now very close. That does not work in the Chosen One's advantage. Because one of those games, they got to win, or a combination of them, they need to win by 52 pins more than what Exit Woundz is doing. And the fact that Exit Woundz is carved into the handicap on both the 2nd and the 3rd pairs is not good. And what really would not be good here is if you got another strike over from Gaines. That would be 3 in a row for him. Gaines coming up, looking for 3. 3 in a row, got it. So despite Avinash not striking in the 4th frame, they still have 4 marks. I'm sorry, they still have 3 marks. And Butler is struggling. I have a feeling Shady would love to have a sub for Butler at this point. However, he can't. He's already the sub. According to UBA rules, you only get 1 of them. they pulled out their anchor and put him in the second put him in the second game. You only got one sub. So that's it. They are riding Reggie Butler, whether they like it or not, and they're either going to ride with him into the next round or they're going to ride with him into the sunset. Right now he does get the spare. 4-3 count, an advantage of Chozen Ones. They needed that because somehow they not only have to hold on, because right now they are losing, so they not only have to hold on, they've got to hold on and hold on to the wood. I'm sorry, they have to go get the wood by more than 50 pins. And that number looks like it's going to be an add-on to that based on what's going on in scratch and handicap. So folks with a mark, which is good, they need more of those. LeMay got a little baby bucket to deal with, 2-4-5. Obviously, once this match is over, I will find out the other results, and I will have them out there available by the time the 2 o'clock matches start. Right now, we're dealing with that, and all of a sudden, Exit Wounds is starting to get a lot louder. And I just heard a yes from Andrew Lazarchuk, which means their scratch pair is waking up. Again, they are closely up in both scratch and the first handicap. And this time around, if it's close, advantage Exit Wounds. Chozen Ones with the strike by Rose. Ivanus looking at back on the horn after leaving 7th in the last shot. And that ball looks good. It is. Rampersad now. Strike, strike, strike. 9th for a strike. However, it looks like right now in this game, anyway, the differentiation is between both anchors. Because you got one with a spare and a couple of opens, and now finally a strike. And you got one with the continuation of 3, looking for a 4th. Again, and I must reiterate this, Chozen Ones is hanging on and they're holding on. They cannot be thinking that. They're down on the wood by 50 pins. Close for them is bad. They got to have somewhere coming out and decisively take a game. And with Alfonso Gaines now with 4 in a row going in the second half of game 3, it may not be the handicap 2 pair that they get that from. And right now, Exit Wounds is winning handicap 1 and they're winning scratch. So, if Brandon Burwell and Darius Hayes' thoughts is correct, which is they're going to sweep, it doesn't matter what Chozen Ones does at this point. So they need some fire somewhere. Thank you. Right now, 4 in a row by Robert Folks. Looking for 5, and right now that's going to be the one thing that's going to save them. Even though you've been hearing Avi in the background, you've finally got some production from Darian LeMay. Avi with a strike, and speaking of which, you're looking for another strike there. There's a strike, 5 in a row from Folks. But he's got to have some help. He desperately needs a double. He desperately needs Butler to show up with a double. And more importantly, he needs Exit Wounds to stop striking. That secondary part could be an issue, especially if Alfonso Gaines continues to do that. That being 5 in a row. So this is turning into a slugfest, which is exactly, if you're Chozen Ones, this is bad. You got to win decisively somewhere. And I don't see where that decisively somewhere is coming from. And if it doesn't come from anywhere, then the most dangerous wild card team in the history of the UBA is going to get another victim in their quest of their wild card continuance and dominance. And I jokingly say that, but they got to Battle Bowl as a wild card. Will they do it again this season? This time around, they're playing for the lowest wild card seed. For them, it doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is if you get in, and what also matters is if the Chosen Ones continue to open, which they did. Stephen Rose finally stops striking and misses the 7. And if you are giving Exit Woundz a chance to open and break that pair open, that's game, set, match. Reggie Butler's up. He's on a strike. He's got to get a double here. This is mandatory. And he doesn't hit the head pin. So this was a very close match, game 1. All 3 games decided by less than 10 pins. Game 2 was when you saw Chosen Ones start to break out, and then the transition did come. Shady was right. The problem is it was the wrong team, from what Shady was looking at, that the transition happened to, because it was Exit Woundz that figured out the transition, not Chosen Ones. And right now, game 3, it is all Exit Woundz in all 3 pairs. It's closer than what they'd like, but they're still up in all 3 pairs. And as we said before, they had the wood coming in, whether it's 51 or a little bit on or a little bit off. That Chosen Ones had to win, they had to win significantly, and right now neither of those things are happening. Folks with another strike. The good news for him is that Folks is on 6 in a row. He's getting no help from his teammates. I mean, everybody's speeding up a little bit on Darian LeMay. He hasn't thrown a lot of strikes, but what he has done is he's thrown marks. He's thrown spares. Spares keep you in games. Opening 5 out of your 6 frames does not keep you in games. And that's the story of this match. The help that Avinash is, the help that I should say that Alfonso Gaines is getting, is Avinash striking right with him, and Darian LeMay getting marks. Marks are important. Strikes may win games. Spares help you advance. And Chosen Ones, unfortunately, are going to find this out the hard way. And another potential open coming down the pike for Chosen Woundz, and there it is. So 6 in a row from Folks, and he's going to be undone by 2 of his teammates who, when they add their scores combined, will be close to matching what he has. Maybe a little bit more. That's not good. Avinash Ramprasad looking to strike here. He does. Ramprasad again. That's a nice 1-2 combination that you got right now in the 2nd and 3rd spots for Exit Woundz. You got Ramprasad with 3 in a row, and then you got Gaines. And what you can say, and again, I'm hoping I'm not offending anybody, you had 2 subs that came in the building. One of them did their job. One of them is on the struggle bus. And if you're Chosen Ones, you can only think, what could have been? Meanwhile, the sub that Exit Woundz has got is Alphon Gaines, and there's another strike. 6 in a row for Gaines. Matching what Folks is doing. Exit Woundz is starting to break this game open. Well, Gaines hadn't opened there. I'm sorry. I called it 6 in a row. I'm wrong on that. That being said, right now it doesn't matter. Darian LeMay for an open for Exit Woundz. if you look right now, the difference between anchors in that spot, one of the scores is almost double the other one. Gaines is going to open. I'm sorry, not Gaines. LeMay's going to open. Gaines is already open. You got 3 frames left for Chozen Woundz to be able to do anything. This one's got to be a strike coming in. It is. Now he needs help. And again, it's not just the game, it is also the wood. Because they had to win by 50, plus whatever the other teams are doing. Right now, Exit Woundz is saying, yeah, you know what? We need you to win the wood by more than 50. We're going to add some more to it. Rose with the strike. And Avinash with the strike. Rose coming up. There is a strike. That's good news for them. However, and a big however, they're running out of frames. Another straight for Alphonse Gaines. Back to Butler. And again, it's going to be very, very hard to catch up if you're getting in your own way. Butler with a strike. However, and a big however here, they're going to run out of frames. Folks, coming up, 9th frame. Meanwhile, the other 2 teams, Scratch is going into the 10th. Exit Woundz is up there. They're up by at least 24 at this point. Harvey Luna's coming up. And again, they just need to mark. They're not going to win the wood, obviously. They're not winning the wood. They'll take the game. So we're looking at this in terms of scoring. Chozen Woundz will win the scratch 8-2. Folks, with another strike, I mean, he could potentially finish out with a 290 at this point, and at least this game is close. LeMay's going to get the spare. Chozen Woundz may win the game, but again, from what I'm talking about, it's not about the game. It is about the overall wood. And that is something that it looks like right now Exit Woundz has well in hand. But we shall see. Again, the question becomes, Shady. Yeah, everybody wants to go see and count the wood at the end of the match, which is all well and good, but not in front of the camera, please. So back to Avi. Right now, Exit Woundz on this pair is up by around 30 and change. With Avi getting a strike. But again, as mentioned before, it is not about the game, it is about overall wood. Finally get a double on Butler's side. So, but I am also looking at the other scores. And it looks like Exit Woundz is going to win scratch by around 50 or so. And again, keep in mind, Chozen Woundz somewhere had to win by at least 50. They're not getting it on the scratch side. They're going to lose by 50, approximately. So you add that to the wood, that's now 102. You add what Exit Wounds is going to do over here, which looks like it's another 40 or 50 pins. So the handicap 2 pair's got to win this by 160 pins approximately. And even though Robert Folks may go out the door for 290, which would be great, that's not going to be good enough. So they may get the game, they will not get the win. However, I do want to see if Folks is going to shoot the 290. It's funny to say this. Someone's going to potentially shoot a 290 and lose. Waiting on Folks right now. First shot coming up. No. Well, that as they say, ends that. No 290. He'll finish somewhere in the 240, 250 area. And if you can look at the numbers under him, it's a 155 and a 122. And if you shoot a 250 and not broken the 500 in the 10th frame, that should say everything that you need to know. Because going into the 10th frame, they were not even at a 500. So here's the irony of it, and Shady said it. Ironically enough, the scratch was not the issue today. The issue was the Chozen One's handicap. That's one of the reasons why Exit Wounds is so strong and so dangerous. They have 9 bowlers that can beat you regardless of where the heck you are in the lineup. There's another strike from Rapazad. And more importantly, and more scary about to everybody, they bowl as a unit. Not just from the bowlers in the front, but from the bowlers in the sortie carpet area. They all function one way or another, which is why Exit Wounds is always a tough out. Every single year they usually get past round 1. This year will be no exception to that. Could once again we be seeing them in Delaware in a couple of weeks? Maybe. Got 2 more matches to get through. But why not? Meanwhile, unfortunately for the Chosen Ones, they had too many opens game 3. That's what it boils down to. That transition did not hurt Exit Wounds as much as it severely hurt Chosen Ones. Too many opens. I mean, that's really what it was, too many opens. They had a chance to put Exit Wounds away in the middle of that second game. They didn't, and you can really credit the turnaround to that third handicap pair. If you want to see Avinash Rapasat, sure, I will go with that. If you want to say Alphonse Gaines, sure, I'll go with that. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a 50-pin lead with your scratch up there and your handicap down by around 50 or 60, but having a sizable lead on the wood and you blow it at the end of game 2, you could feel the inertia turn. You could feel everything shifting over in terms of movement going from Chosen Ones and sliding over to Exit Wounds. And that is exactly what's going to happen. As you can hear in the background, Exit Wounds is going to advance. The only question becomes what the official score is. And Exit Wounds wants to chat with Malachi Moore. I don't know why. Master Strokes is not in the playoffs. And now, unfortunately for Chosen Ones, neither are they. So it looks like Exit Wounds did not mathematically win the third game yet. They could, mathematically, they could lose it if Alphonse Gaines, who has been very, very good this whole entire series, misses a spare. But he won't. So it looks unofficially Just doing some math here. So it looks unofficially, in the unofficial count, 30-10, Exit Woundz over Chozen Ones. And meanwhile, I want to chat with some guy that was predicted that he was going to be the guy to step up. Avi.
Maybe should you tell how our bowler got?
I got to chat. I got to chat with a guy that was told that he was going to be the guy to step up and give the win to Exit Woundz. And Mays as well as others, and that's Avinash Ramprasad. So first of all, hi.
How are you, Gordon?
I'm okay. And one of the things that I said with the turning point of the match was that you guys were down in the middle of game 2, and you shifted it, and you wound up winning, and they're crediting you for that. Talk to me about it.
Me? Oh, no. That's all the team, man. Look, LeMay threw the back 5. I threw whatever I threw, I think. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. It don't matter. They gave us the opportunity. They didn't step up when they needed it, and we just ran them over. And we walked them down.
Yeah, you want to talk about that guy over here? Because that was the guy that you're referring to in terms of back 5. So I've got an Avinash, I got double A's here. Alphonse, come to the mic. I've got one Alphonse Gaines over here, and we're saying the turning point of the game was when you guys were trailing at the midpoint, and it looked like you were about to get your doors blasted open, and both of you turned around and came forth, and you won that game. Talk to me about that.
Man, I'm just trying to make good shots, man. Good shots, that's it. One game, one frame at a time, man. That's what we do.
So what was that? Back what? Avi said back 5, back 6?
It might have been about back 5, 6. Each of us, yeah. That's
So,
what I'm trying to do every frame, man. Strike.
and then talk to me about that third game, because you guys, both of you were locked and loaded. You carried your leadoff bowler because he was struggling. I mean, you had 2 bowlers that were struggling. You carried that leadoff bowler.
Well, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. That's what we do, man. We held each other up. He's striking, I'm striking, we doing what we do.
So now chat with me next round. Do you have any idea who you're bowling, or do you not care at this point?
I don't know who we bowling. I don't even care. It don't matter, man.
We throw 30 good frames.
We bowl our game, man.
We just keep striking. It don't matter.
Bowl our game and see what happens.
Now, one of the things that I've said about you guys, and I said this at the beginning of the broadcast, you guys got the last spot, the final spot to get in. I called you guys the most dangerous wild card team in the history of the UBA.
We're going to try to make it happen.
Again, I'm going to point that out. Again, because were you here the last time? Because I know that you joined. I don't know if you joined the last time that they were at Battle Bowl, if you were at Exit Woundz at that point.
I wasn't there.
All right.
Last time they was in the playoffs, no.
No.
I couldn't bowl that time.
I'm new to this. I don't know about this, all this UBA stuff. So I'm just new.
You just bowl.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, we have the family over here, man.
All right, so anything you want to say, any last words, anything like that?
No, I just hope we keep on going. That's it. Do what we do.
All right. Well, congratulations, Alphonse Gaines, Avinash, Indian Jesus Ramprasad. Because he said it. That's his nickname. He said it. So anyway, the unofficial final, 30-10, Exit Woundz. They will advance. We'll be back here in a couple of hours because we got another Northeast team that wants to get to the next round. North New Jersey team, Garden Foundation. Can they make it through? They have a team that they're going against in the form of Secret Society that has been there a number of times. Most recently 2 years ago, and they want to make it back. That is going to be one heck of a matchup. They may need an Indian Jesus to show up to predict who's going to win that one, because I couldn't tell you. For everybody, for Frank, Mia, everybody else, Gordon Pepper signing off. UBA all day. See you in a couple of hours.